Yeah, we're just getting our studio all set up, but we want to get the bare knuckle fighters out there and get, some more publicity on you and get you guys, because I'm seeing a lot of interviews with G, because of course he works for BKFC.
Well, yeah.
They're trying to build him up. So it's going to be one of those sides, that I noticed was going to be a problem here. So I wanted to make sure you got your story out there, because they don't know.
Yeah.
And that's always the funny thing is like they can go ahead and discredit, bringing you in with a 0-1 record and thinking, oh, here we go, let's build G up, one another fight. But
right.
By what I researched and I asked around a little bit, you're definitely here to fight this time.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You're right about the whole build-up thing, because, he's kind of like their face or whatever.
Yep.
And, that's fine. Like, I could care less. Like, I looked at, the betting odds and all that crap. And
yeah, I haven't looked at the odds yet. And I can already feel it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, I know I'm probably way under, which I could care less about,
That just means somebody makes money on you.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if he thinks I'm just going to be an easy walk in the park, but that's not going to happen. I promise.
That's good. That's good to hear.
I promise.
Because just recently, he's been more content with posting on social media about Bryce Hall, an influencer.
Yeah, that kind of pissed me off, to be honest with you, because it's almost like he's disregarding me in our fight. Like, fuck that. Like, I just want to, worry about Bryce Hall. I'm like, all right, that's cool.
Yep.
You go ahead and worry about him, because you need to be worrying about me. Like,
and that's the thing. Is like you're a week from fight, and this is the biggest thing you're worried about. When you got a guy down here ready to fight you, that's where his mindset really needs to be right now. I mean, all respect to G. I know G. He's a great guy, but he's got a challenger in front of him, and so I really wanted to get how you felt on that, and so I can kind of relate exactly what you're saying already.
Yeah, I mean, I expected it. It is what it is. Like, I'm always the underdog. I'm always the older guy.
Yep.
Like, I don't care. I'm 42. I was supposed to retire, but they called me the last minute 2 weeks ago. Said, "Hey, you want to fight?" I was like, "Well, yeah, why not?"
Yep.
Might as well. I'm always ready to go. And I'm sure like he didn't have a problem, saying yes to me, because he probably looked at the last fight, and my last fight was not the best. I had a lot of things going on, mentally, family, different things going on. And I just wasn't really there in the mindset at all.
Yeah.
Granted, I loved being there, but as far as like taking it as a real fight, no, he can judge the fight all he wants to off of that, but that's not what's going to happen. I promise.
That's good to hear. So you've been in the gym, you've been training. I heard you just say you took it on 2 weeks notice. So, I mean, that is kind of like a, one of those shit things. But, hey, man, if you've been in the gym, you're fine, right?
Yeah, I mean, I own a gym, and, I work out 5-6 days a week. I train everybody every day. So, like, the only thing that might be lost a little bit is a little bit of cardio. Other than that, like, I've been fighting for 32 years. So it's not like this is a new thing for me. I don't get anxious or nervous.
Yep.
It's a fight. So,
Absolutely.
and I plan on bringing it. I honestly, like, nobody's ever tested his chin. If you look at his past 2 previous fights, like, those guys didn't really land anything clean at all. Like, you had the one dude who got knocked down 4 times in the first round, and he was just swinging.
Yeah,
stupidly.
Too.
Yeah, like no skills to that. Like, and I'm not going to take away from any fighter, but in the same token, those guys weren't at the level that I think. I know they're not. I mean, it's just no.
So let's go back a little bit. So I want to at least get that out there. So what gym do you run, and the name of the gym, so that way people know?
So I run Ronin Jiu-Jitsu and MMA in Parkersburg, West Virginia.
Nice.
So, and I got a lot of fighters and stuff through there, and we do everything. I've fought for Eddie Bravo for Combat Jiu-Jitsu Worlds. I fought Brandon Moreno over there for that.
Nice.
So I've pretty much done any and all of it. I've been hit by the best. So.
And you have one BKFC fight already, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not like your first rodeo by any means.
No. I mean that first one was kind of a wake up call as far as like it's different.
It is
than MMA or boxing or anything else. It's kind of combined, but it's also pretty separate. Just for the simple fact.
Go ahead.
Like, what makes it obviously, the most different is the bare knuckle.
Yep.
But that changes everything as far as like what you throw, when you throw, how close you need or how far you need to be. Like everything's so much more different.
Yeah, especially with like the concern, I mean, like bare knuckle, as with boxing, you can have a 8-ounce glove, let's say, or a 10-ounce glove, and you can power through, and of course we've gotten hand injuries, in boxing, but not as persistent as what you would see in BKFC. I'm seeing guys breaking their hands in the first round, and then just kind of winging it from there.
That's what happened in my last fight. I broke my hands in the first round, and we stuck through to the third, but I couldn't see out of my left eye. So I couldn't continue on that one. But
and that's another thing too, is kind of relatable with MMA with the cuts, but cuts weren't as often in MMA,
right,
as with bare knuckle.
Yeah, one jab will get you cut.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. It can be above the eye, and now you got to worry about the doctor stoppage. It can be under the eye, and it's just the fact that you feel yourself, bleeding on yourself. That mentally kind of screws you up in a fight. I've had that happen before, and so.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely,
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, it's no disrespect to G or anybody else, but like, nobody really ever put the pressure on or tested him. Both of his fights, he came out unscathed. I don't think that's going to happen this time. I plan on putting it to him. To me, I was originally supposed to retire, so this is probably a good retirement fight.
It's like
honestly,
like having a vacation fight. You got to look at it that way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. What better way to go out than to take out their, top contender type guy who's already calling out all these other people without eating what's in front of him. That's fine. You can do whatever. I'm not going to tell people what to do. Just focus on task at hand.
And that's really what I was kind of wondering. I was like, geez, I mean, I knew that it was a short notice fight for you, but I wasn't sure like exactly, how short they got you. Was like there any time to train? Was it a thing that, at your age, when I saw your age, I was like, well, maybe he was retired and was just like, I'll do it, So they kind of related, but it looks like you got fire in you. So like you say, you're training every day and you're running a gym. So it's not like you're coming off the couch drinking beer, And
I'm in tip-top condition. My body's and actually, these past 6 weeks that I've taken off from the last fight, my body feels way better now than what it did before that fight. Because where I teach jiu-jitsu and everything, you get your typical neck sprains and crap like that from jiu-jitsu in general. And I really haven't done much jiu-jitsu in the past 6 weeks, so my body has actually healed a lot more recently.
It's crazy how much it takes out of you, huh?
Oh, it does. I mean, it's ridiculous. Your joints hurt.
Yep.
Neck hurts all the time from chokes and stuff. And of course, I'm the smallest guy at my gym, so I'm always getting smashed, and it sucks.
I can relate, brother. I was always the smallest guy in the gym too. It's tough, and it's so hard on your body. Like when I quit doing jiu-jitsu, the joints, that's the first thing you notice. Like I can actually lift stuff without having to push my body past what my brain was telling me not to do, Oh
yeah. Yeah. My big thing was my neck.
Me
just
too.
Because, but it feels so much better now. Like I used to have to get a massage once a week. Now it's not like that. So
well, it's good to hear.
It's kind of a blessing that it all happened.
Especially in boxing. You need that neck, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
The head movement's a big thing.
I mean, I guess the good thing is like, you know, and you know, I should probably knock on wood, but you know, out of my 30 years of fighting, you know, I've never once ever been knocked out ever.
Good.
You know, so I kind of pride myself in that. You know, being a 42-year-old man.
Being in the sport,
you know, I've been hurt. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, been hurt, but never knocked out. Brandon Moreno is actually like the dude who hurt me the worst.
Really?
Like, oh my God. Like, he beat the shit out of my head. Like, I had vertigo for like 3 weeks after the fight. He chipped 3 of my teeth. Oh, like, bruised my liver. Yeah. It was rough.
And that was for which organization?
That was the Eddie Bravo's Combat Jiu-Jitsu Worlds.
Yeah, because they can actually use, you can use open hands there, right?
Yeah. And honestly, that's way worse than knuckles.
It is.
Like,
it's more concussion.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Yep.
Like, it's just palm strikes. It's not a slap. It's a freaking palm strike. And dude, that to the side of your dome. Oh my God.
The cupping power of it. That's what people don't look. Yeah. Every time I watch it, I know exactly what they're dealing with, because that cupping power it feels like a punch, but it also feels worse almost. The only thing difference is the knuckles. They're not there, you know, but the concussion's way worse.
Well, if you look at it, I mean, if it's your open palm, like, it's pretty much your whole forearm that you're hitting with, which is a larger, bigger bone and surface area. And you know, enough padding in your palm that it's not going to break anything. So yeah,
it's a lot harder to duck those.
Yeah,
for sure. So your plan right now is to probably do this one and kind of see where it takes you. Maybe retirement's going to be the goal after. Maybe it isn't. Kind of see. Yeah. This could really rise your stock, man. I mean, you could take this fight, you could win it, and you know, you might be the next one fighting Bryce Hall. You know, with 27 million viewers watching.
Right. You know, I mean, and I've thought about that. You know, like I take him out, and you know, I don't know what could be in store. You know, because that's a huge win.
It is.
You know,
that'd be a huge win.
I mean, but then again, you know, there is that flip side of the coin of you could always go out on top and just be like that, you know.
Yep. We just watched that from Amanda Nunes. She said, "Peace. I'll take these 2 titles and I'll retire." So, I mean, it has been done. Francis Ngannou, not that he really retired, he just left the organization. But I mean, they can take the belt and they can just run. You know, in this case, it's not a belt, but it feels like a title fight to me. Because when I look at this card, you know, you got a great main event. That's going to be insane to watch. A great co-main event, and then your guys is like the feature fight, like for sure, right there at title level. Because I mean, they really are. They're pedestal and G, and I understand why. I mean, he is the cut man for the organization. You know, he's got 2 great, phenomenal fights that look good for him. You know, and like we both kind of, I recognized it when you were saying, but the opponents they were putting in front of him weren't that level, I would say, you know, that were gonna, you know, that put him in danger. And so now he has a dangerous opponent in front of him.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I'm not one to back down, and, you know, if he wants to stand and bang, you know, we'll stand and bang, like, till one of us falls. That's, I'm ready for that. Like, I'm ready to just stand there and just throw hands until one of us drops. Like, I don't care. Like, I've got nothing to lose, you know, like, and I hope he comes like that. Like, I want that fight of the night. Like, if we go all 5 rounds, we go all 5 rounds. But
the fight bonus is where it's at anyway, right? I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's cherry on top.
Damn right. I mean, I wouldn't mind going home with a little bit of extra cash. Shoot.
Absolutely.
You know, because after you're 40, you know, the medicals are just skyrocketed.
Oh God.
Like, the shit that I have to get done from, I have to get MRIs and EKGs.
Yep.
You know, your typical blood work and ophthalmologist and physicals. Some places you got to have liver function tests. like, it's insane.
Yeah, and
just got,
you know, this is bare knuckle, and people don't understand. Like, you know, I mean, this is still sanctioned, so those all have to be done.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as soon as you bring a commission on board, it's, you know, I'm from Montana here, and we're just finally adjusting to this as well when it comes to our local shows here. I had traveled and experienced and fought in all the other different states and different countries, But when I started watching like how our state was adjusting, it was really hard for our guys because it was like they've never done blood work, like they've never had to do an EKG or MRI or eye test, and these are all things I was familiar with. But I was watching a lot of my my fellow Montanans like having to adjust to that because any fight we put on here now are sanctioned. We just had BKFC up here just recently. We have to bring a commission from another state to come up here and actually help us. Yeah, it's kind of a screwy deal for us right now, but yeah. We're getting there, man. We're old timers over here. Do you guys have BK ever come to your state yet?
No, West Virginia, we're behind everybody. Like we didn't get MMA until 2009. No, not 2019, 2012 maybe.
Oh wow!
I forget it. Yeah, we haven't had MMA very long. Yeah, we're trying to get Bare Knuckle in West Virginia.
That'd be nice.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So if you don't retire in this fight, maybe you can bring him to the hometown. Maybe you'll be fighting Bryce Hall in your hometown. That'd be great.
I mean, I'm not opposed to it, right? Like
exactly.
Maybe I should make that up. I should tell him, say, hey, whoever wins, we get Bryce Hall. How about that?
I think that'd be a good call out, man. I think this is like your time to really, because, I mean, one thing I always see, and it's hard to see it, is somebody setting up the next fight. You see it in the UFC every once in a while. You see it in Bellator. You see it in all these, all the combat sports. We see it a little bit here and there. But then the guys that really take the sport serious don't do that. It's just you got a guy in front of you, and that's going to be the number one thing that you're going to have to prioritize yourself around, But Gee's feeling confident, and I get it. He's on a streak. He's in the organization. He's coming from a good camp, But when I saw the Bryce Hall thing, I was like, oh no, Gee, my boy, stay straight and narrow. You got a road right in front of you, and it's a hard road to have to get past before you even start setting up that next turn.
Yeah. And if he wants to call him out, whatever, but like wait till after the fight, right?
Yeah, that would have been better. I thought do it in your post-fight speech if that's really what your whole life goal is winning this fight. You should already be thinking the post-fight speech, not the media that you're boosting the next fight on beforehand. So
absolutely. I mean, it's only been 2 weeks, but this has been my only concern, my goal, everything. I'm not worried about what's happening, Sunday. It's what's happening Friday.
Yep.
And Friday is the only task that matters right now. Nobody else. I'm not talking to nobody else. I ain't trying to do anything. My family, I don't even talk to them right now. I'm just here.
So who is Ryan? Are you married? Do you have children?
So I'm not married.
Okay. You're smart.
I get yeah. I got one daughter. She's 17.
17. I got one that age too. I feel for you, brother. I know exactly what you're going through.
Yep.
So social media out there. I think if I can break her attention for at least 10 minutes, I think I'm winning.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. It's kind of crazy, but
it is. It is. And then your gym. So how long? You said you've been in business for how long now?
3 years, almost 4 years, something like that. I can't remember.
So just suffered right through the COVID and still going at least.
Yeah.
Good.
Yep.
That was a tough one, man, especially when it came to gyms.
Yeah. Everybody was hurting then, but
it was tough.
I mean, it kind of evened out because people eventually got tired of sitting at home, and then they came out. But now looking back on it, I think people became complacent and they're okay with that whole work from home commute kind of crap, and so nobody wants to go out anymore. So nobody wants to work out, nobody wants to train. Hardly anybody wants to fight. I don't know what the deal is.
Yeah, it was kind of a crazy transition as everybody was cooped up, and then everybody wanted to get out, and we're just right now at that peak of kind of mellow, where it's kind of plateauing and in that weird direction of almost normal but not normal. I don't think we'll ever be normal again.
No.
Social media kind of took over the whole everything in the world, and
Yeah. Yep.
So
it's
so your plan is probably to put it on pretty hard in the first and second. I mean, taking a short notice fight, you're going to look to hurt him. So we're going to look for fireworks. I think betting odds are probably going to be, if you're going to pull this off, I would say first round.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and if you look at the statistics in general, most fights that end in TKO or KO is first or second round.
Yeah, especially in this sport, yeah.
Yeah. If it goes past the second, typically, you're going to make it to all five just because your hands are already, broke and busted and whatever. You can't hit with, the same intensity. So, yeah, it's either going to be hard out for those 1 to 2.5 maybe rounds, or we just bang it out for all 5 rounds. I don't think neither of us want to go all 5 and, suffer more damage than what needs to occur. But
he's already plotted a fight for next month, man. Of course, he don't want to get hurt.
Well, yeah, absolutely. You don't want to. I mean, 5 rounds of bare knuckle. That's tough. Your hands are not going to be healed in a month.
No.
Your face don't heal in a month. That's a good bit of beating on your own body.
Oh yeah, 6 weeks is even just impressive. Somebody coming back.
I mean, maybe that's his game plan. Maybe he wants to come in and try to end it quick and not take any damage, so he'll be okay for that Bryce Hall fight. But I plan on messing that up for him.
Yep, absolutely. You're here to fight, so that's what I'm really glad to hear. Is it wasn't just you're just here to make a paycheck and carry on down the road. I want to see the test.
Yeah. I definitely, and when it boils down to the respect, I respect him for what he's doing and what he's doing in the game and stuff. And, rightfully, if he does beat me or whatever, then so be it.
Yeah.
I'll have a lot more respect for him because, I'm going to give him everything that I got. So, if he makes it through me, good for him. More props to him. I'll be a supporter. But until that happens.
Until after the fight, he's still your opponent.
Right, yeah. We can be friends after.
Head off, yeah. Well, it's cool.
Crazy how that's
exactly how that works. I mean, and that's the greatest thing about our sport is we can be that way. We can 100% want to kill a guy. We can fight them, and then we can shake their hands and be best friends even afterwards.
Oh, absolutely. I've become more friends with my opponents than what I have in most of my natural life. And I think it's that weird bond that you develop while, hitting each other or whatever. It's a strange thing, the gladiator type concept, I suppose.
Oh, I agree. Every time I've befriended a lot. I even had a friend that I had fought that we were, really close and friends for a long time after, but then I've had some that I still had the hatred after even.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So it's really cool. So when you travel, did you have a coach that came with you? Did you just bring family with you? I mean, what was...
So since, I kind of scatter around a little bit. Like a lot of times I bring people, I like to give a lot of people different experiences and stuff, to go with me. So each fight I always bring somebody different. But with this fight, I brought Mike Shepard with me. He's going to be my corner man on this fight.
Nice.
So I don't know if you know him or not. He's won multiple world titles, kickboxing, boxing, West Virginia.
Okay. Yeah, I know who you're talking about now. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So he's down here with me this time. A little bit of added extra emphasis on this fight.
Absolutely.
So there's a little bit, how much more serious I am with this fight.
That's great to hear because he's done enough of these bigger shows that he can help relate with you, because that's one thing that I always want to ask the fighters who they brought with them, because sometimes that could be what actually sets your fight for you.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I've had cornermen that absolutely were horrible.
Yeah.
And didn't say anything, and that's kind of my own fault because I would just, pick them out of the blue. I'm like, hey, you guys want to go to California? And they're like, yeah. And then I look over and they're just sitting there like with their jaw open. I'm like, say something, damn it. Like,
yeah, there's a trip.
Yeah, like, having a good time.
I'm glad I helped you with your trip. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that is very crucial, and I always want to ask because I've seen and I've dealt with it myself, is the travel, the mental, getting to the show. Like today, you're checking in, you're doing media. If you have somebody that's by your side that's already experienced that, it's not a ooh la thing to them where they get to just, show off because they're somewhere important, when really the fighter that they're with is the important one. They've already been through that. That's already burned out of their system. They're there to support the fighter and to make sure he's mentally going to be ready for the fight.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So you're going to have a bad weight cut, or you got a decent weight cut? Like, how's the weight
cut? I'm good.
Going? Good.
Yeah. Like I checked about an hour or two ago, and I was like, I had like 1.5 pounds. So, and I haven't even tried to sweat any at all. Like, I mean, I've just watched what I've eaten and stuff. So
yeah, 1.5 pounds. Like, I mean, you could take a shit and that'd be gone.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I went and I even had dinner. So,
Oh, you're set. Yeah. You're confident. You're good.
I may have an extra pound because of the pasta that I ate, but I don't care.
Yeah.
I feel much better mentally. Oh yeah. I mean, I got, till 1 o'clock or something tomorrow. So
yeah, you're set.
Ain't nothing at all.
No, that weight won't be an issue at all then. That's really good to hear. So where'd they put you guys up at this time? You had a good, at least decent hotel?
Yeah.
It's
all right. Yeah. I mean, it's not like the one we was at before. But it's still a decent hotel. I always complain because there's no hot tub, but
yeah.
That's just me. I don't, yeah, like whether it's pre-fight or post-fight, like I like a hot tub.
Yep. And then what you do is you just hit up one of the guys that works there, like Eddie, and be like, hey, can I come over to your hotel? Because they're in the nice hotels. And be like, can I use your hot tub?
Yep. I think they got almost everybody staying at this one though. Last time really? They had, it's weird. Last time they had 2 separate hotels, and both the fighters were in 2 separate hotels and stuff. So I don't know, Yeah,
usually that's how I've always seen it too. Is like they'll get one hotel for some of the the bigger fighters and the staff, and then they'll get another hotel for the other fighters,
Yeah, because it can be a little weird. You get in an elevator, and your fighter's right beside you in the elevator, and you're like, oh, hey. I did run into G down there. And, we shook hands or whatever. I don't care. Like, I don't hate the guy. Like, it's a fight.
That's
it's
all.
not.
Yep.
Yeah. Like, I don't hate the dude. It's his business. Yeah.
Yep.
And I think at least, and that's what like makes me respect the fighters. Like, I can't stand it when people stand there and try to talk shit to you and, badmouth you and try to amp it up over than what it actually is. I've never been one to do that. Then I start losing respect.
Yep.
Like, don't come at me all stupid and stuff. Like, but he seems like a respectable kind of guy. We'll shake hands, punch each other in the face, and have a beer afterwards. Like,
right.
That's just how it.
That's perfect. So I always try to end them with a little weird questions. First, I want to give you a chance to give, if you have any sponsors or anybody, just maybe family that you want to shout out to, because we're going to get this out there on social media for you, because I know damn well more people should have been hitting you up and getting to know the guy that's going to be fighting G, because G's got his name. He's trying to set it out there even bigger, but this could be the destruction, so people don't see what the real tides that are coming in the ocean. So
right, yeah. They just look at my face, my age, and my record, and that's all. That's fine. Mostly, like my 2 major supporters are just my parents. They've always been there. They always took me into all my karate stuff and boxing stuff. Like, so out of all the people, like, they're my biggest supporters and fans. Like, even though my mom don't watch it, but Yeah. But I'd say they're probably like my biggest and best supporters.
It's good to hear. Some parents don't really get into the combat sports.
And, I've had different sponsors and stuff. Massages by Donna and Don Burrows has got an electric company. Yeah, I mean, like I said, this fight was last minute, so
yeah, it's hard. It's hard to gain sponsorships before a fight when you're taking on 2 weeks' notice, man. It's just getting ready. I understand.
I've got friends, I've got a couple close friends that have helped me out a little bit, and they know who they are. I don't need to mention them, but I'm grateful for all those people, for the people that come to the gym and help me train, because I don't necessarily have a coach all the time or anything. So I'm only better because of my own people. That's Yep. And that's just how it's usually been,
Yeah.
I teach them the
that's typically what you hear too,
Yeah. I teach them to hold mitts, and then they hold mitts for me, and then that's typically it,
That's good.
So
the Rocky story wasn't him with the best trainer. It was him hitting a piece of meat.
Yep.
So before I end it, I always ask a weird question. So I know you've been busy, you're probably not really getting out on the news, but did you hear about this Titanic submarine ship that got lost?
No.
Okay, so they take a crew. This crew has been doing this for years now, and they have this submarine that is ran typically with a boat above by remote control, okay? And these people pay $250,000 to sit in this submarine so that they go down in the ocean to go see the crashed Titanic at the bottom of the ocean. So now, these people paid all that money, and they lost them. The submarine just fell. So it's sitting by the Titanic with these people that paid all this money, and they have no life support. They're probably done by now already.
And they're in the submarine down by the Titanic.
Yes. Isn't this crazy?
Shit. Wow.
Yeah, and they paid for their own demise.
It was just like the Titanic 2.0.
It is, isn't it? It's like a whole remake. The most expensive ship that ever sailed and had the most expensive tickets to be on. You now have the most expensive submarine to be on. Just do the same thing.
Yeah, it's like jumping out of a Jeff Bezos rocket and shooting in outer space and exploding. Like,
so I thought I'd make you smile at least with that one, man. So I will hear from you post-speech. I don't care if you win or lose, man. We'd like to recontact you, get back in touch, see where life's going to go. You know what I mean? Like, maybe we'll be talking about a Bryce Hall fight, and maybe we'll just talk about how you're going to go home and, and keep your gym going. So either way, I would like to get back in touch with you, brother.
Absolutely. I appreciate you bringing on and let me at least show a little bit of my side.
Absolutely, brother. Right away when I saw this all set up, you were the first person I contacted. So I wanted to make sure we got your whole side out there, how this was taken. People don't know you took on 2 weeks' notice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they also don't know that you're going to come and you're going to put a fight on him more than the other two that knew ahead of time of their fights. So this is going to be good, man. You guys are the featured fight, brother.
I think so. I think it's going to be a fight of the night. Like, people's going to be in shock when they see what happens.
Let's get that paycheck.
Okay.
All right, brother. Well, all luck to you. I hope you feel comfortable down there. I hope it's not too hot, not too humid, because Florida sucks every time I've went. So
well, it's way better down here than West Virginia. So
I'll bet, man. I don't doubt that though. So you have a great night, man. You have a good fight, and we will talk to you right after the fight.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, man.